Hi there, I'm Lenore Zann. I'm the MLA for Millbrook First Nations, and I'm also the Aboriginal Affairs critic for the Nova Scotia New Democratic Party. And I've been following this issue for quite some time now. People on the ground have been telling me right from the day one what's been happening. And I've had questions, and I've asked them of the government, and I have questions that I've asked them about what the company's plans are. And I have some questions I'd really like to ask you while you're all here, because maybe you could tell us all what the answers are, and we can have those answers so we know what's going on. So for instance, so I read somewhere that this project is going ahead because it's going to save $17 million for somebody. The company, is it? Or who's it going to save money to do this? Natural gas users. Okay. Now, which natural gas users? People in Nova Scotia or people outside of Nova Scotia? Only Nova Scotia? Okay. And where is this gas coming from that's going to go into the storage place? So it's going to come from offshore and other markets. And how's it going to get here? Pipeline. And then that pipeline, is that going to be connected to the place in New Brunswick as well? Well, apparently there's also natural gas storage places in New Brunswick, and Irving's have signed a deal with a pipeline as well in New Brunswick. So is it anything to do with that? Okay, so it's only going to stay here, and it's going to be piped in, and it's also going to be piped out, or how are you going to get the gas out? Where does the pipeline go to?
The pipeline goes to users in Nova Scotia, for example, whether it's residential users or commercial users.
And they go to Maine?
Yeah. So does any of it go to Maine or to the eastern states? Not at all?
In fact, we'll be getting gas potentially getting gas from the...
Well, that's what I was asking before. Right.
All supply areas in North America, the gas is coming, their molecules are colored, so they'll all be commingled. Gas will come in, as Tim was explaining, from offshore Nova Scotia and from these other supply areas throughout North America.
Right. So there will be gas coming in from the eastern states then, from Maine and places like this.
That's the purpose for this. Is there's not enough gas supply here in the wintertime to avoid people seeing the market here in the winter, the cold winters here, and taking advantage of that with high gas prices. This allows you to put gas into the ground in the summertime when the prices are low, and withdraw it in the wintertime, avoiding those people that want to charge very, very high prices, because the gas is already in the ground there at that predetermined price that you purchase.
Right. And so this is going to add to a bunch more questions, I'm sure, because I would like to hear all these answers too. I'm sure you do too, because just to hear it right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Great, thank you. That's good to know. Now, when we heard,
we can't hear them back here.
I'll give him the microphone next, okay?
Grab a pair and speak up.
When it's because I'm hogging the mic. Hold on one second. I got another question. Okay, so when we heard about the fact that they wanted to take the water out of the ground, or take the water out of the river, put the water down into the holes to make these caverns, and then they're going to suck the water back up again with all the salt brine and pour it into the river. I was told it was going to be 9 billion liters of salt brine a day for 3 years. Is that correct? Would it be about 9 billion liters of salt brine? Anyway, it's a lot of salt brine, and I talked to the Department of Transportation. 5,000 cubic meters, and how many liters is that? How many? 5 million liters per day, right? Okay, so I asked the Department of Transportation if they could use the salt on the roads in Nova Scotia instead of putting it back into the river. I mean, that would be a no-brainer, right? And they said that no, they couldn't do that because they only need 1 million liters of salt per year for all the roads in Nova Scotia. And this is way more per day than what they need per year. So is it possible for you to take back a request to your president, your owner, CEO, and also to the Department of Energy, and ask them to please put a halt to this until the communities who are most affected have been deeply and meaningfully consulted, because they don't feel that they have been. And also, I really never did hear an answer about why you can't, instead of putting the salt back in the river, why not create some kind of a building where you can take the water out of the salt and use a desalination plant and use it for something else. I think that would be a very good solution, rather than worrying all these people who feel so deeply about the river, including myself. I feel worried about it as well. It's on a very important piece of water area there and marshlands, and we don't want to destroy it for future generations, just to save a few $1 million for some people. So could you please just take those 2 requests back, please, to take some time to consult deeply and meaningfully with the communities that are most affected? And also, what about a desalination plant? I think that would be a very good solution, that perhaps if you do consultation with the people, they may decide that that's okay. They may consent to that, but you need to consult with them properly. Thank you.